You hear me, Josh? Check, check, check. Josh. Here we go, Josh. Check.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Buckeye Toyota, Bay Food Market, Fairfield County Adam H., the Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Fairfield DD, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, The Carriage Company, Personal Touch Party Rentals, North Body Shop, Fairfield Medical Center, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
From Carl Fell Stadium in Carroll, IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings Game of the Week. Tonight we have a Mid-State League Buckeye battle as the Amanda-Clearcreek Aces take on the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Josh Messerly, joined alongside by Marion Royster. Marion, a couple of teams going in some opposite directions. Bloom-Carroll, of course, 3-1 coming in on the year, 1-0 in the Mid-State League. Amanda-Clearcreek still looking for their first win in 4 tries. And some teams are working on some totally different things at this point in the season.
Right, yeah. As you said, Josh, 2 teams going in the opposite direction. But with Bloom-Carroll, they've really got to be encouraged by the way they've played the last couple weeks, especially last week, had a very impressive win. And with Amanda-Clearcreek, there's some things that they can build on. We were fortunate enough to see them last week in that game against Liberty Union. The score, I don't think, was indicative of how well they played. They weren't able to put any points on the board, but they did move the ball and, again, have some things that they can build upon.
Yeah, certainly for Amanda-Clearcreek, something we touched on last week, Shu and I, and you as well, that execution. It's just something week by week they are working on, trying to execute better. It's been a couple weeks since they got on the scoreboard as well, and you also have to remember it's a very young team, only 3 seniors on this roster.
Yeah, when you go down the roster, you're almost struck by all the 9s and the 10s that you see, not a whole lot of 11 and 12s. And usually that's not good. But if you look on the bright side, again, that's a great way to build your program up when you're able to get young guys like that, some experience on Friday nights early. That only helps them. Really, the only way you can gain, not the only way, but one of the best ways that you can gain confidence is to actually be out there, sometimes even taking your lumps. But when you become juniors and seniors, you're able to put all that experience into play and hopefully turn some things around for the better.
And for Bloom-Carroll last week, an impressive win, 42-6 on the road at then 11th ranked in the state, Circleville. The Bulldogs, seemingly, we were talking before we went on air, a much different team than when they played Harvest Prep here week 1.
Yeah. I mean, this team can be as good as it wants to be, really. I mean, against Harvest Prep, again, they had a lot of key players returning, but the one place that they didn't have a returning starter was a quarterback. Ethan Thanavong saw some spot action last year, but again, being out there as a starter for the first time, maybe might have been a little, just getting used to the speed of the game, may have shown it. And again, not to mention that the team that they played in week 1, Harvest Prep, really had some great athletes. So, but they have picked it up since then. Again, some very impressive wins, some shutouts. Circleville, again, as good as a team they were, and they just, mopped the floor with them. So they as I said, can be as good as they want to be this season if they continue to play and build upon what they've started.
Jeremy McKinney takes over year number 1 from Wade Bartholomew, who a really solid foundation. Last 6 seasons, this Bloom-Carroll team has made the playoffs. So, Coach McKinney coming over as the defensive coordinator, now head coach. You knew that the same principles would apply on defense, and the defense would still be strong, but it was a little bit of a changing on offense, going from more of a pass-heavy to a little more run-focused team.
Yeah, and I think the best-kept secret about this Bloom-Carroll team is they started a little bit of that metamorphosis last year. We were able to cover a couple of their games earlier in the season, weeks 4 and weeks 5, and then when they were more of a balanced team, threw some, ran some, maybe slightly more geared towards the run, towards the pass. But when we covered their playoff game against Heath, they really established their dominance as being a physical football team, really rammed the ball down their opponent's throat, and again that complements so well with that tough, hard-nosed defense that they have, and they've just continued to build upon that. Again, they have a stable of running backs. A lot of folks are going to carry the ball tonight, led by Dylan Armitrout. I think, we could see, a very heavy ground attack. That, again, continues to be their calling card.
Big loss for Amanda-Clearcreek. We saw it last week. He had a great game. Landon Mills, 132 yards and 21 carries, but left the game with an injury. And I saw him out there tonight in warm-ups, and he had jeans on and no pads. So that means he's not going to be suiting up tonight. Yeah,
I was disappointed to hear that. You informed me of that. I was really impressed with Landon last week. Just really tough, hard-nosed runner. Despite his size, only being listed at about 185 pounds. You wouldn't think it the way he runs. Ran very, very hard for them last week. Again, that's a tough blow. But again, you're just going to have to ask more of those young guys to step up for the Aces tonight. Again, you can look at it as just another opportunity for the young guys to get some experience.
And here come the Bulldogs onto the field. It is Military Appreciation Night, and you'll see the American flag and service flags from all of our branches of the armed forces. So a great scene here tonight, and actually each of the players carrying a small American flag as well. They honored several veterans and active duty military members on the track earlier before the game as well. So a cool night as well. And we'll remind you, tonight's pregame show has been brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals. Carol and Eric Whittington would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events in Lancaster. They're a small family-owned business that has been servicing the Central Ohio area since 2003. And they would love to help plan your next event, weddings, special events, even corporate events. All with a Personal Touch. They can be reached at 740-689-6991. Let's get now to our keys of the game, which tonight is brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability since 1979. Owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty in each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right.
Thanks, Josh. And as far as, again, the keys to the game, I think starting with the Bulldogs, first and foremost, they can't beat themselves. Coach McKinney had talked about how they needed to clean some things up with penalties. Those are things that can keep the game close, even in a game where you're heavily favored. So they need to clean that up, play a clean game as much as possible. Also, converting opportunities in the passing game, extremely important. They don't take a whole lot of shots in the passing game, but it'll be important for Thanavong and the receivers to capitalize when they do. And don't allow the Aces to gain confidence. Again, a young team like that, the longer they're in the game, the more they can feel that they're in it and can present a problem. The Aces, on the other hand, they really want to, as we said time and time again, continue to build on the momentum that they've started, specifically last week. And as we said again, execution. Had some unforced errors, dropped passes, missed on some overthrows, and some key misses and blocks, missed tackles and blocks. They've really got to clean those up. And for the defense, try to make Bloom-Carroll play left-handed. And when I say that, I mean throw the ball more than if you got to put 9 guys, 10 guys, 20 guys in the box, as many guys as you can jam in the box. Try to stop that run game. See if Bloom-Carroll can beat you in the passing game.
Sty back deep for Amanda-Clearcreek as they will receive the opening kickoff. Also back deep is Conrad as teeing it up for the Bulldogs is Trayton McKee, and we'll tell you about our sponsor for the kickoff after it happens. McKee lets it fly, and we are underway, and it'll be Conrad taking it at the 1. Trying to get up the field, and he had nowhere to go. There was a swarm of purple and yellow jerseys around him.
Yeah, it was. And again, the Bulldogs, we'll see this on defense and specifically on special teams as well. The way they pursue and run to the football, second to none. You can tell that they preach it in practice over and over again. The defense, again, just you see 4 or 5 purple jerseys around the ball at all times. They really do a great job at that.
Drew Dossman is the starting quarterback, 6'2", 177 pounds, and a junior. So the Aces will spread it out on first down. That's going to be an option. Toss out, and nearly dropping that one was number 7, Tanner Alfolder. Or that's rather El Covell on the carry, and he gets a decent pickup there on first down. I'll remind you tonight's opening kickoff was brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They have been servicing the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years.
Not surprised to see the Aces start out in that speed option look. That's, getting on the perimeter seems to be, their calling card. A lot of speed option. We saw a lot of bubble screens last week. Bet we'll see a lot more as the game goes on.
Full house backfield. Here's handoff to Covell, and he's gummed up. Very strong up front are the Bulldogs.
Yeah, their defensive line is as impressive as it comes. And as big as they were last year with size, they perhaps have an even bigger starting defensive line this season. Just strong, physical. I would not recommend the Aces try to run too many between the tackles tonight.
Yeah, we run right at Cale Craner, who was very underrated on the defense a year ago. Also, Andrew Marshall in there at linebacker. We'll talk about him as the night goes on.
Absolutely.
Third down. Dossman looking. Got all kinds of time. Throws it. Tries to fit it in there, and unable to bring it in was Logan Stevens, the wide receiver. And the Aces go 3 and out to start the game.
Great coverage there by the Bulldogs. Really just working in that kind of zone coverage, making sure everything's shored up, taken care of. Plenty of time in the pocket for Dossman, but just unable to find an open receiver on that one.
So that means that Conrad will be punting it away. Broden Bishop waiting around midfield for it. A little bit of a high snap, but Conrad gets it off and goes off the side of his foot and out of bounds, and we'll see where the officials walk this one off. And they're walking it up past the 35 to the 34-yard line, so that's where the Bulldogs will start with excellent starting field position.
Yeah, that's this offense. You don't want to do them any favors, giving them short fields like this. They are a very efficient offense. They score points, as we know. So unfortunate break there for the Aces. Seem to have a punt go off the side of the foot, and the Bulldogs are in business on their side, the right side, I guess, of the 35.
Even Thanavong, the starting quarterback, will hand it off to Marshall straight ahead. and he is dragged down at the 31-yard line. Marshall had himself a week last week against Circleville, 6 carries, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and again, we'll continue to talk about his stellar play on the defensive end, but when you talk about what he's able to do on the offensive end, just an incredible weapon for the Bulldogs, both sides of the ball, and speaks a lot to the versatility and athleticism of that young man.
And whistles and flags will shut this play down before it starts, as we'll hear from Rob Bachman, our referee tonight.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
And a false start against Bloom-Carroll will back them up 5 yards.
Yep, and we talked about that in the pregame, just, the pre-snap penalties, things that, you just can't have, especially by now, week 5.
You've hit the midway point.
Yeah.
You'd like to clean those up.
I'm sure Coach McKinney cannot be happy about that.
Brings up 2nd and 12. Hand off to Plants, runs into his own man, and then runs into an ace. And he gets inside the 30-yard line. Picks up the penalty yards and then some. Sty on the stop for the Aces. There's you get a good look at Chase Plants. A lot of options in the backfield. You'll see Armentrout, Marshall, and Plants at times tonight. First third down of the evening for Bloom-Carroll as the offense looks over the sidelines for the signals. Van Thanevong throws it out. Catch is made by Jet Jones, and he is going to have a first down inside the 25-yard line.
So as quickly as we say that, how the penalties can hurt you. You have an offense that's as efficient as the Bulldogs. Nothing hurt. You get a nice run by Plants, and then a nice out route there by Jet there. Just a great job.
Just got enough for the first down as you see a close-up of Jet Jones, 5'9", 175 pounds, and a junior. Armentrout now will line up next to Thanevong in the shotgun. And he'll get the carry. Cuts it up inside, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Easy as that, Josh. One cut in the ground. Excellent vision there shown by Armentrout. Just gets upfield. Excellent blocking also by the offensive line up front. Barely touched on that play and scoots in for the touchdown for Bloom-Carroll.
And there's an Amanda-Clearcreek player down at the 15-yard line. Can't quite make out the number on that. As the training staff will take a look.
As we take a look at the replay here for the touchdown. You'll see Armentrout there again. Just turns on the Jets, gets to the end zone. Great blocking also downfield by the wide receivers there. As he broke into the secondary, still wasn't touched. Nice run by Armentrout. Great execution by the Bulldogs.
And we'll mention tonight's replays are brought to you by Dagger Law. Just underway here at Bloom-Carroll as the Bulldogs get on the board first, and the medical staff taking a look at an injured Amanda-Clearcreek player. And that's something with a young team and not a lot of depth as you're still trying to develop your players. Kind of hard to deal with. We'll get another look at this.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll watch the full replay here again. Look at the blocking there. The pancake block after pancake block. Nice job there by number 72. Excuse me, that's Jaden Ball. Great job.
Looks like that could be Keller McNear, number 66, down on the field. McNear, a junior. But again, so young is this Amanda-Clearcreek team. Only 3 seniors, and we talked about it last week. It's going to be rough at times this year because you have mistakes because players just aren't used to varsity football.
Yeah.
And you hope going through these learning experiences over the years that by the time they're juniors and seniors, it pays off. You have that experience.
Yeah, for sure. It's just something. It's one of those things. Again, with schools that a lot of the Fairfield County schools that we see, it's hard sometimes to stay on top forever. Amanda-Clearcreek had such an amazing program for so many years, and had a very senior laden team last year.
And there you see the cart coming out for Keller McNear, and boy, you never like to see that happen.
Yeah, I became more and more concerned the longer he stayed down on the field. And when you see the cart come out like that, that just cannot be good. You got some teammates coming out to give him the thumbs up, keep his spirits up. It's very unfortunate.
And they're going to take him off the field. And he'll go over towards the far sideline as the Bulldogs and Aces will get ready to resume plays. There you see a look at Keller McNear.
Yeah, unfortunately, Keller's one of the returning linemen. We talked about the inexperience of Amanda, but Keller was one of those that had some experience coming back up front in the offensive line and the defensive line, of course, being out there. So just a tough break. You hate to see that for this Amanda-Clearcreek team.
9 minutes exactly to go here in the opening quarter. As McKee on to attempt the extra point. It is up and good. So it is 7-0 Bloom-Carroll 3 minutes into this one.
And I'm sure we'll talk quite a bit about Trayton McKinney again. Just another in the long line of really, really solid kickers for this program. It's something that they put a lot of attention to and understand how important the kicking game is, particularly in high school football, to be able to put points on the board when you're unable to get fourth downs. And it sounds easy, the extra point, but to be able to count on that extra point whenever you need it. Trayton McKinney continues to, continue that tradition of good kickers out of the Bloom-Carroll program.
Really, I think it's the haves and have-nots of high school football.
Absolutely.
If you have a kicking game, you think about it, your scoring range is drastically increased,
Yeah, especially, later in the games. Bloom-Carroll hasn't had a bunch of close games over the years, but in the games that they have, and we've seen it come to fruition, a couple long kicks here in the last few years has made the difference for them.
McKee will launch this one just at the goal line. Conrad keeps it out and finds a seam. And he's got one man to beat, and it's Armentrout who lays a smack on him.
Wow.
How about that? If you're the last guy, you got to make it count.
Yeah.
Dylan Armentrout on special teams.
What a lick by Armentrout. He's on a knee on the sideline. I hope he didn't injure himself on that play. That was quite the lick. He laid on the returner there.
As it is, a fine return for the Aces out to the 45-yard line. So at least something positive for Amanda-Clearcreek, as we'll get another look at that kick return.
Replay it, and lost it in that excitement about the big hit was a fantastic return by Taylor Conrad. But again, wow, what an amazing hit.
There'll be a handoff on first down. Hard running there for Covell. And he'll pick up a couple. And we'll take a look at the Bloom-Carroll scoring drive. 4 plays, 34 yards, $131 off the clock, and a 24-yard touchdown run by Dylan Armentrout, which was his 4th on the year.
Yeah, and again, just that short field comes into play. It's something that the Aces can't do. You want to make them earn every single thing they can get on offense tonight. The deck's already stacked against you enough as it is. You got to move the ball, make it tough on that offense.
Dossman dropping back, throws. He finds his receiver Stevens into Bloom-Carroll territory. His forward progress will get him to the 47. He'll make it 3rd down and manageable for Amanda-Clearcreek.
Credit to Dossman. He stood in there and took a lick and delivered a pass. I was very impressed last week even as well with his pocket presence. He did a very nice job stepping up in the pocket when he had to. We'll watch this on the replay here. You'll see Dossman there in the shotgun. as he gets the snap. The pressure's almost there immediately in the backfield. Number 71, Cale Craner. But again, steps up, delivers the pass, completion, close to a first down.
Dossman throwing over the middle, dangerous pass, and unable to haul that in was Peyton Beavers, the tight end. That was in a lot of traffic. He was trying to haul that pass in.
Yeah, it was, but it got there. I mean, he threaded the needle to get it there to number 25, Peyton Beavers. Tough catch in traffic, but again, those are the ones we talk about, that execution. You know, if you're going to compete with a team as good as Bloom-Carroll, those are the ones that you have to have.
I think I misspoke. It was third down now, and now we got whistles and flags, and it's going to be a penalty against Amanda-Clearcreek. So a false start against the Aces will cost them 5.
And again, one of those things, you miss a pass like that over the middle, could have been a first down, come back, you lose yards, now it's 4th and long.
And a quick kick by Dossman. We saw this last week. It takes a ace roll inside the 5 and into the end zone. And a big hit at the end of that play was coming up, and that was Broden Bishop who hit the defender before he could touch it up inside the 5.
That was great hustle by Conrad, though, to get down the field, and that almost got there, but Bishop was not letting him down it inside the 5-yard line there. So a great play, great call there by the Aces, the quick kick. We saw them utilize that last week as well, but great, nice job to call that tonight. Unfortunately, didn't work out to get them pinned down inside the 5-yard line, so the Bulldogs will take over.
Very physical Bloom-Carroll team tonight.
Yeah, as they always are, Josh.
Well, that's true.
Really.
Here's Armand Trout breaking a tackle, drags another defender out across the 30, and he will have a first down.
And there's Dylan Armstrong showing no ill effects from that hit that he had. Again, looked like he might have been shooken up a little bit, but takes the ball on that one and just hits the hole like a shot out of a cannon rocket. Just looked amazing coming out there. Praise on the nice draw play. Again, great blocking up front. Makes a couple guys miss in the hole. Just dragging tacklers with him for a first down.
Play action, Thantanavong rolling out. And he has some pressure, and he will go down. The Aces got there as Tanner Affolter with the sack.
Great play by the Aces defense there. Good coverage in the secondary. And again, those are the plays that give confidence to this Aces team. Nice job there by Fuller.
Affolter's first sack of the year. There you get a good look at the 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. Thantanavong's going to swing out to Armand Trout. He's got a blocker, cuts it up. Covell will lasso him and get some help with a flag flying in at the end of that play. We'll check the laundry.
Maybe a face mask on the offense there, Josh.
See the officials getting together to discuss this.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And you called it, Marion.
Well, I incorrectly said the offense. I thought that they might have got Armitride on the stiff arm there, but we'll see on the replay. Again, this is a nice call here. Just get Armitride the ball in space. Try to, almost like an extended run there in the passing game. Great pursuit there by the Aces. Armitride, and he didn't grab it there. I saw him make contact with the face mask. Not sure where the face mask came in. Number 2 there. Number 2, Landon Covell for the Aces. They caught him on the face mask.
He really just got a little piece of it there.
Just a little bit.
Just enough. Another flag coming in on the Armand Trout carry. And this one's going to go against the offense.
Holding, offense, number 3, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Some early face time for referee Rob Bachman tonight.
Yeah, they got Jet Jones blocking downfield on that one. That's just one of those things. Again, you want your receivers to be aggressive. We saw it, pay dividends on the touchdown earlier on. Just got to keep those hands inside.
We'll talk about the officials after this play, introduce those. Here's an end around, and that's Bishop on the carry, and he will take that out inside the 42 down to about the 41-yard line.
Nice run. Oh.
And here's our officials tonight.
Tonight's officiating crew, referee Rob Backman. Our umpire is Matt Wilson. Heads lineman is Josh Bricker. Line judge Jeff Jerkin. Back judge Mark Barker. And those are your officials for this evening.
All right. So 2nd down and 3 after that carry. And Bishop's going to take the direct snap. And he's going to have a 1st down. A little block there from Armentrout as the stop was made by Logan Stevens from his safety position, but it'll be enough to move the sticks.
Nice wrinkle in this Bulldog offense to be able to go to the Wildcat formation there and again just direct snap, take it straight up the gut there. Again, that the offensive line just moving the Amanda-Clearcreek defensive line, pushing them down the field. He's 4 or 5 yards before he gets contact on that one.
Big game last week for Bishop, 6 carries, 125 yards on the ground.
Wow.
That'll be another handoff to Armentrout, and he has nowhere to run there. Aces come up to plug the hole. That was Logan Stevens getting a little bit of help as well from Dalton Stump.
And the Aces, again, it speaks to the coaching as well and also the just determination of this defense. They've done a great job in pursuit tonight. Again, you're seeing a lot of tacklers around the ball carrier at the end of the run, and that's going to be necessary when you've got running backs that run as hard as these Bulldog running backs do. Absolutely.
Bulldogs chewing up a lot of time inside of 4 minutes to play in the quarter. Bishop goes in motion, runs into his own man. Thanavong launches deep for Jones, and he threw it too far.
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the pregame, Josh. They're not going to take a whole lot of shots in the passing game, but when they do, it's very important that they connect on those. Again, had Jones running straight down the field wide open. We'll watch on the replay here. And they escaped there with the unfortunate work in the backfield there. I don't know if that might have been enough to throw Thanavong off, but he's got an incredible arm, Josh. He really does. They talked about it in the preseason, how strong his arm is. So it's just a matter of getting him to understand the nuances of playing the quarterback position, being able to deliver the ball on time and accurate.
He'll put it up in the air again, and this one's well out of bounds. Trying to find Jace Rockwood on the edge. Well, he's got a live arm. We know that.
He sure does. He sure does. That's the thing, and you saw it a little bit in their scrimmage as well. I mean, when he lets that thing rip, he can really let it fly. I mean, his arm strength is as good as it comes, and they were excited about that. Continue to be excited about that. But again, if you can't convert, particularly on those long passes and the play action, it's going to hurt.
Got to think, too, they had a good teacher with Wade Bartholomew the last few years
Absolutely.
as head coach, who's done a great job with quarterbacks over the years. As we get a timeout taken by Amanda-Clearcreek. They didn't have the right numbers out there. And we'll remind you, our timeouts tonight are brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster. Learn more at carriagecompany.com. Just a gorgeous night here in Carroll. Upper 70s, just a light breeze, and here we are, middle of September. Here you see a beautiful view.
Yeah, and I think, Josh, this is one of the nicest fields. I mean, there's a lot of nice fields, particularly in Fairfield County now, but this is one of the nicest. This field just really shines. The way the colors contrast, and we'll talk a little bit later about how good the concession stand is as well.
Yes,
so,
very strong concession game here at Carl Felt Stadium.
Right, so I will never, ever complain about doing a game here at Bloom-Carroll. They treat us well, and, yep, there's a concession stand. It continues to be popular with good reason.
That's the scene of the crime as our crew attacked earlier tonight. On the punt it is Tyler Rapp for the Bulldogs. Sty will let this hit inside the 5, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Aces do the job on defense, thanks to some penalties as well to slow down that drive for the Bulldogs. And Amanda-Clearcreek will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, just trying to move the ball down the field. And last week we talked about it in their game with Liberty Union. They had a really nice drive going early second quarter. Scoreless game. They get down inside the 5, and a really strong stand defensively by Liberty Union really turned the tide in that game.
Yeah, it did, and I didn't fault them one bit for being aggressive there and trying to score as opposed to trying to kick the field goal. Those are one of the things that you want to gain that confidence. Didn't convert, but shows that they can do something with the ball at times.
There's Covell, who gets pulled down from behind, and that's Andrew Marshall.
Marshall, again, one of the better, if not best, defensive players in the county. A young man who's just had an amazing season thus far, amazing season last season as well. We'll watch him on the replay here. Just sheds the block, runs down the running back as if it's nothing, and makes a great tackle for a loss. He's had 19 tackles for loss so far this season. That makes number 20.
And we'll talk a little bit more about him later, as he's been a very impressive player and a very underrated player. Covell gets it on the option pitch, and he had nowhere to go. The Bulldogs swarming on him.
Yeah, they had some success a little earlier on with that speed option, but the Bulldogs snuffed that one out early. Defensive backs did not hesitate to come screaming up, shut that play down in the backfield. Unfortunately for the Aces, now they're looking at 3rd and long. As we watch the replay here, you see a sea of purple jerseys around, led by Armatrout, coming up from his defensive back position to make the TFL.
He's already had himself a pretty good first half. He has a
Yes, he
touchdown, has a big hit on special teams, and a couple nice defensive plays.
Yeah, just a very aggressive football player. Plays strong, plays fast, and aggressive.
And all across the board, this Bloom-Carroll defense very aggressive, as flags will stop this play. And a false start. The Aces will have to back up 5 yards. This drive has gone the wrong direction for the Aces. As Dossman will drop back on 3rd, under pressure, throws it incomplete. Just got rid of it to Stye, and that guy again, Andrew Marshall, providing the pressure.
Yeah, McKinney had him coming on an all-out blitz. You could see him creeping up as the snap count was coming. He just timed that up perfectly, came straight through, and was really upset he didn't get the safety on that one. Again, that's a very nice job by the quarterback, Drew Dossman, able to get rid of the football so there wasn't a safety there.
And now we're going to have a timeout by Bloom-Carroll. It looked like Amanda-Clearcreek was a little bit out of sorts getting personnel on the field, but instead it's Bloom-Carroll calling a timeout with 2:13 to go in the opening quarter. Bulldogs getting on the board in their opening drive. And since then, both teams have traded punts. So you get a good look at the Bloom-Carroll huddle. Coach McKinney in there talking to his team. Just seems like this has been a seamless transition for Bloom-Carroll from Wade Bartholomew to Coach McKinney, but that's not always the case when you have a change in leadership.
No, it's not, but I think with Coach McKinney, the players already knew him so well, so that trust was there and that familiarity was there. So for him to step in and take over was really just nothing. They were used to his voice, and used to what he was able to do on the defense. They saw it in action and had faith in him. So, I think that, there's no reason why this team can't just pick up exactly where it left off. Not to mention, they had 7 assistant coaches return as well.
Yeah.
So all that continuity, again, it's never, good to lose a coach as talented as Bartholomew, but McKinney's doing a great job.
You could tell during that timeout he was not happy having to call that timeout with his defense not being ready for the punting situation. Dossman, the quick kick, goes right up the elevator shaft, and it will take a nice roll for the Aces. And a flag well away from the ball. Marshall mixing it up with an Amanda-Clearcreek player. And we'll see. There was 2 flags thrown in, a good 20 yards away from the end of the play.
Those penalties away from the play are ones that you just hate to see. You want your guys to be aggressive. You want them to play just up to that line. As my old coach Jim Grove at Ohio University used to tell us, play right up to the edge, men, but don't play past it. Because when when you're making those mistakes, playing past the whistle and getting those personal fouls, that can really cripple your football team.
Oh, absolutely. And it is going to hurt the Bulldogs in this situation because they would have it up around the 30-yard line. But before the penalty, they'll have it now at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and again, those are the things that Coach McKinney, he knows that, early in the season, those are the things that you need to clean up because this team has aspirations, as we all know, past the regular season. Of course, they want to win the league. They're not going to look past anybody. But he knows they've got to clean that stuff up going into the playoffs.
Armand Trout on the carry, and he will have it to the 41. Stye coming up to make the tackle. Stye, 5'10", 173-pound freshman.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Josh, I love Tommy Stye. I mean, I was very impressed with him last week. I didn't get a chance to talk as much as I wanted to about how well he played. Plays very well for his size, fearless out there, plays very hard on offense and defense.
And Bishop on the Wildcat will keep it, and he will pick up a first down.
Again, just an embarrassment of riches when you talk about the backfield of the Bulldogs here. You've got Armand Trout, Plants, Marshall lines up back there. And then when you have Braden Bishop in the backfield running the Wildcat, again, we watch on the replay. You don't know if he's going to hand it, and either guy, whether he hands it or he keeps it, is a threat to score on any play.
Yeah, it's just how many ways do you want the Bulldogs to beat you? Armand Trout again, he's been a busy man tonight, and he's going to take this one into the end zone. Second touchdown tonight for Dylan Armand Trout.
Yeah, and second time on the same play call. It's that same out of the shotgun counter play. You get those linebackers roaming to one side, the power side, two plants in the ground. He puts his foot down, cuts back against the grain, and doesn't have anybody there. We'll see it there on the replay again. Great blocking again. Nice job. Almost looks like a replay of the first touchdown, really. Maybe a little further out, but same side of the field. Great blocking downfield by the receivers and up front by the big guys.
Trayton McKee on to attempt the extra point, and it is good. So with 1:05 to go in quarter number one, our score now is Bloom-Carroll 14, Amanda-Clearcreek nothing.
And we'll take this time to thank our first half scoreboard sponsor, which is Buckeye Toyota. Buckeye Toyota would like to wish all of the local athletes best of luck this season. Buckeye Toyota is your hometown dealer that is here to help. Visit us online at mybuckeyetoyota.com.
So almost a full quarter into this one. Bulldogs really offensively have done what they've wanted to do. It's when they've gotten there in their own way that they've had some issues tonight offensively.
Right. And that's, again, it's one of those things they can't stub their toe. They've been talented enough tonight to make up for those deficiencies, in their self-inflicted wounds, if you will. But it's not all out of, it's 14-0. There's still a lot of time left to be played. Amanda-Clearcreek, if they can maybe mount a drive here, who knows what could happen.
Key will let this one fly. He got a little extra into this one. Still didn't get it, though, into the end zone. As Conrad finds another seam, and he will take that one out near the 30-yard line. So at least the Aces on special teams have gotten some good production from Talon Conrad.
Yeah, not just by Conrad, but the wedge blocking as well. On that first one, Conrad hit the seam very well, but the fact, first and foremost, there was a seam there.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot when you have a team that pursues and does as well in this kicking game of special teams as Bloom-Carroll does. But, again, a nice return there. Always helps that offense out the further you can get them down the field to start.
Landon Covell has been the guy tonight to run the ball in place of Landon Mills, who left the game early last week with injury and not playing tonight for Amanda-Clearcreek. And it's going to be a keeper by Logan Stevens in the ball game. And we're going to look at the Bloom-Carroll scoring drive. 3 plays, 44 yards, 1:01 off the clock, 32-yard touchdown run.
Yes, again, very similar to that first drive. They were able to work off a short field. Would have been even shorter had they not had that penalty. And just a great run by Armand Trout there, scooting into the end zone.
Pickup of 2 on that last carry for Stevens. Saw him play a little bit last week as he'll mix it up with Dossman. Stevens maybe a little bit more of the runner. Here's Stye trying to get the edge, and he cannot. Marshall there to trip him up.
Yeah, again, it's unfortunate for the Aces tonight because that's typically how they try to attack defenses on the perimeter. But when you're doing that tonight, you're running into Marshall and Plants, 2 of the better linebackers in the area to try to move the ball on the outside. So they've got their work cut out for them this evening.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the score, Bloom-Carroll 14 and Amanda-Clearcreek nothing. As we get another look at that last play, you're talking about Andrew Marshall. There was a nice article this week in the Lancaster Eagle-Gazette really talking about his story, a guy who was largely overshadowed on last year's team. You know, a couple years ago, didn't get to play much as a freshman because of injury, played mostly as special teams as a sophomore, but really grew into a starting position and then kind of took off from there.
Yeah, I was so impressed by that article, Josh, because he didn't sulk. You know, he didn't get down on himself. He said that he credited his mother for really inspiring him to just work that much harder and get in the weight room, and it has shown. I mean, he is a kid with great size naturally, but you can tell the strength that he has that has come from that extra work in the weight room. And the other thing I really like, he enjoys the responsibility of being a leader on this team. You know, doesn't run from it, likes the fact that he's now the senior, the elder statesman, if you will, on this defense, and embracing his role.
Aces will have it 3rd and 7 at the 33 as Dossman back in, under pressure, throws that ball incomplete. Trying to find Stevens. Marshall was lurking and may have affected the passing lane as well. Just to put a bow on the Marshall story, Coach McKinney said that, you know, things started to slow down for him about halfway through last year and really started to see a difference in his play as you get another look at that pass.
Yeah, and again, this just shows, again, his versatility. Not only is he an expert pass rusher, but dropping back into coverage as well. Such a nice thing to be able to do as a defensive coordinator, to be able to have him drop back. But yes, you know, him, you know, having that experience as the season went on, really just gaining confidence is so important.
And you parlayed that into a commitment to Kent State, where he'll play college football next year, is on the return for Bloom-Carroll's Broden Bishop, and he'll take it out across the 40-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will start their next drive with 11:42 to go in the half.
And again, that's a great story there, as we talked about, but just congratulations to Marshall. That is an incredible accomplishment to work yourself into not just a wonderful high school player, but a Division I football player. Yeah. I mean, that is saying something to be able to commit to play at the next level. Not a whole lot of guys get to do that. He'll go to a good football program in Kent State, much better than when I was in school. So good for him.
They've come a long way.
They've come a long way since the late 90s. Won a few games since then, but he'll do excellent up there.
Here's Armentrout, who's had himself a night, and he adds to it, and he's going to take this one into the end zone again. 3rd touchdown of the night for Dylan Armentrout.
And we keep saying it, Josh, but it's a lot of the same thing. It's the counter play out of that shotgun play. Again, it's just you get the ace linebackers pursuing one way. He cuts across the grain, and with his speed, we'll see it again here. Cuts across the grain, untouched into the secondary. Great blocking downfield. Number 2, Jace Rockwood, does a great job there. And once he turns the jets on, you're not going to catch him. Armentrout, 3rd touchdown today. Wow, what a night, what a start.
He came into this game with 3 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah.
Kick is up and good by McKee, and it's 21-0, Bloom-Carroll.
And this is that quick strike offense of Bloom-Carroll. You know, it's hard enough to stop them when they're getting 3 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, first down and just moving the ball methodically on you. But when they're hitting these big hitters, these 20, 30-yard bursts, in that case a 60-yard burst for a touchdown, my goodness, it is just they come at you in waves. And again, it's one thing if you stop Armentrout, but then you've got Plants coming in, you've got Marshall coming in, you've got Bishop coming in, not to mention Thanaval with his arm. You've always got to be aware of that. This team just has a lot of ways to beat you. And again, if they can put it together, get that balanced attack coming, they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Dylan Armentrout tonight, 6 carries, 136 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You got to love his average, 22.7 yards a carry.
That's not bad
good
for the old average there.
Yes.
My goodness.
So the Bulldogs kickoff team getting a workout here in the first half. And McKee will let this one go again. Gonna squib this one. Stevens will take it. And Stevens will get it out to about the 27-yard line where he's taken down. Owen Smith on the stop there on special teams for Bloom-Carroll.
Yeah, for the Aces offense here, again, at this point, I hate to say it, you don't really want to worry about the scoreboard. I mean, it's 21-0. It's a pretty tough lead that you're going to have to surmount there. But again, it's just one play at a time, one drive at a time. Try to build on something here. Try to get a drive here in a scoring position and see what you can do with it.
Dossman's going to put it up in the air, down the middle. It's intercepted. Pick off by Jet Jones. Overthrew his intended receiver, Affolder. And it's all Bulldogs right now.
Yeah, and again, it's not a bad play call here. We'll watch it on the replay. Shotgun the play action, it's there. He just throws it just a little bit, just sails on him over the outstretched arm of the receiver there. Jones able to make a nice interception. And credit to him, again, for staying with the receiver there, reading his keys, not getting sucked in by the play action. He was in the right position to make that play on the overthrow, get another interception.
So Bloom-Carroll will take over. And they have 12 on the field. As a legal substitution
Still first down.
against Bloom-Carroll, so they had 12 out there. I believe in the Canadian League you can get away with that, but not in the lower 48.
I think you're right. Much wider field in Canada, though, so they let you have an extra guy out there to cover it.
You should have one of those games a year where you have like experimental rules or something, just to, like a preseason game or something.
Yeah.
Thanaval rolling out, throwing out to the flat. It's Bishop down the sideline. He's bumped by Stye out of bounds at the 35.
Nice throw on the run by Thanaval, and I like that play call there. He hadn't had a completion yet today. Well, I take that back. He's had a couple screen passes there, but that's the first completion down the field. So roll him out, get here on the perimeter, as you see here on the replay. Delivers a strike there to Bishop. Bishop able to catch it out in front. Nice use of the hands there. And turn it into some additional yards after the catch.
Here's Chase Plants cutting it back against the grain. Breaks a tackle. Carries a defender down to the 16-yard line.
Nice run there by Plants. A little different type of runner than you'll see from Armentrout. Again, kind of a thunder and lightning, if you will. Armentrout, a lot of speed there, as we've seen on his touchdown runs. But Plants runs as hard as anybody you'll see. Very, very strong, physical runner. If he finds you in the open field, he's going to try to run you over.
Bulldogs will spread it out here in the red zone. And they're going to go with the Plants. Breaks out of the shoestring tackle. Still fighting towards the end zone. And he is down at the 1.
And we talked about that power running again. How many tackles did he break on his way to the end zone on that one? My goodness. Yeah, it took 2 or 3, maybe even 4 aces to eventually bring him down, but he just runs and drags runners in his wake.
Plant's listed at 5'11", 215 pounds. He doesn't look like 215 pounds.
Well, he looks a lot bigger than that. Again, the very stocky runner here as he lines up deep in the backfield. And this is a very dangerous formation that they like to run around the goal line.
Plants will ram it in for the touchdown. Fourth rushing touchdown of the night for BC. That's the fourth rushing touchdown of the year for Chase Plants.
Yeah, Plants, again, Armentrout gets, being the lead runner for this team, gets a lot of the, headlines, if you will, but Plants, an outstanding runner in his own right. We talked about his impact on the defensive side, but offensively, he gives, again, a nice opportunity for a 1-2 punch in the backfield.
Key to add an extra point out of the hold of Jones. Kick is good. McKee's 4 for 4 in extra points tonight, and it makes it 28-0 Bloom-Carroll as we get another look at the score.
Again, and this is a very deadly formation, almost like a wishbone there out of the pistol there. And when you've got an offensive line that's pushing and moving the defensive line back as far as that is, that's easy pickings for the touchdown for Bloom-Carroll.
Makes you wonder, though, of the success of the running game tonight for Bloom-Carroll. It's kind of probably hard to work on the passing game because the running game's going so well if you want to try and work on some different things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it type things, and I understand that. But, again, you talk about this team that has aspirations past the regular season into the playoffs. It's just one of those things they're just going to have to develop as the season goes on. Again, hard to go away from it when you know it's effective. But even like little things on that drive there where you saw the Thanthanabog on the rollout, just to find 4 or 5, maybe 6 different passing plays that you have confidence in, that you can run, get positive yards, easy completions for your quarterback, allow him to gain confidence, and go from there.
Not to mention this is a team that moved up a division in the offseason. We'll talk about that in a moment. We see the return for Amanda-Clearcreek. Give the Aces credit. They are at least getting some good starting field position. As you see the scoring drive, 5 plays, 56 yards. The 1-yard score capped it off. Minute 27 off the clock. Boy, they're efficient.
Right, they are efficient. For a running football team, you're seeing those drive summaries of 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds, and so on and so forth. But it looks like we've got it injured.
Yeah, Dalton Stump is down and holding his lower back. Stump, 6 feet, 180 pounds, and a junior playing linebacker, mostly on defense. He's now slowly getting to his feet. Boy, just the last thing Amanda-Clearcreek needs is more injuries.
Yeah, more injuries, especially to some of their upperclassmen. As a junior there, Stump, one of the leaders on this team, does a great job, particularly on defense. Also helps them in offense and the passing game, but hopefully he doesn't have a serious injury, and they don't lose him either for tonight or beyond tonight as well.
Dossman in the offense will come out for Amanda-Clearcreek, just trying to get something positive going into the half. And Dossman will hand it off, finds Covell, and he will push it out for about 4 yards on first down. Maybe give him 5 even.
That's a nice run by Landon Covell. Yeah, that's a 5-yard gainer. Again, it's tough as it is to run inside the tackles on this Bloom-Carroll team. He was able to scoot through there. Nice job by the offensive line of Amanda as well.
It's kind of a little bit of a sneaky back, 5'8", 149 pounds. Kind of hides well behind the offensive line.
Yeah, another guy, not very big in stature, but runs a lot harder than his size would tell you.
2nd and 5. And it's going to be Stye picking up the first down. Finally taken down by Colin Willett, the linebacker.
Yeah, nice inside trap call there. Again, Tommy Stye, runs with such aggression there. Nice job there, getting inside the tackles again and breaking a couple as he got into the secondary. And the Aces have a first down here. Let's see if they can continue to put this drive together.
It's just been consistency has been one of their big issues that Coach Steve Dalton, now in year number 5, has talked about, and really attention to details. And you can see with a young team where that can be a challenge from play to play, week to week.
Yeah, execution's so important for every football team, but when you're a team, again, that you're trying to build your program, you got a lot of young guys, you cannot afford to make mistakes, especially in this league. I mean, this league, the MSL Buckeye Division, one of the toughest that you'll see there. A lot of teams in this league, Amanda usually one of them, one of the more competitive teams, fighting for that top spot. So you just can't give any of these good teams extra chances.
Double handoff. And Affolter will get back to the line of scrimmage. What an effort by him just to do that, because that looked like it was going to go for a loss.
Yeah, it did look like that, and Bloom was not fooled on that play at all. Ready in the backfield, had a couple guys able to make a tackle. Nice job by Affolter to be able to at least get positive yards out of it to bring up a 3rd and reasonable for the Aces. Risky play call there, but still an opportunity, to get into the second level there for Affolter.
May hand off to Stye, and he will take that one into Bloom-Carroll territory. Stop made by number 60 Andrew Lister for Bloom-Carroll.
Yep, and as you come in here 4th and 4, again, some folks may say, hey, why wouldn't you go for it? But 28-0. Again, you're just trying to establish some momentum there. Got a few first downs there. I understand the decision here by Coach Dalton to go ahead and go and punt it.
This one a nice punt. They'll take a nice Amanda-Clearcreek roll, and they will be able to stop it inside the 5-yard line. Great job on special teams by the Aces to down it at the 1.
Yeah, amazing effort there by the Aces. I couldn't make out the number, who was the player that ran all the way down there, slid into the end zone, had the sense to get back out of the end zone and stop the ball before it rolled in there.
We'll get another look at that.
First and foremost, fantastic punt there.
It's Conrad on the punt.
Can't quite make it out, but fantastic. Oh, that's number 26 there.
Yeah, that is Bo Matheny.
Bo Matheny.
What a job there by Bo Matheny to stop it inside the 5.
Great hustle there by the sophomore.
Now Penn, the Bulldogs back, easily their worst field position tonight. And plants it in the backfield. It gets out of the end zone. Or rather, that was Armentrout on the carry. That nearly ended up in 2 points for the Aces.
Nice job by the interior defensive line of the Aces there. Really crashed down, didn't give much ground. Created a pile there that didn't allow Armentrout to get through at all.
And when you're in a scoring drought like the Aces are, you'll take a drop of water there in 2 points if you can get it.
Absolutely. And again, field position so important there. It's such a difference as opposed to being on the 20. They're now starting inside their own 5 and can really provide a spark for this Aces.
Armentrout able to work that for a gain of 3. Hand off to Marshall. Marshall working out. Marshall gets tripped up from behind. Tommy Stye makes the touchdown saving tackle.
And again, hard charging running there by Marshall. We'll watch on the replay here. He's lined up deep. Yet another running back, tailback to come in through there. And he's just hard charging running there by Marshall. Nice job.
He almost hit that extra gear. Had he done that, he probably would have been gone.
Yeah, great saving tackle by Stye.
As it is, first down from the 18. Armentrout cutting it back, finding some green and a first down. Stye again on the stop.
We had some advanced stats, Josh. I'd like to see their play average whenever they run that particular play. I got to say it's at least 25 yards at this point. Again, another counter out of the shotgun position. Armentrout takes it. Great vision shown there. Shoestring tackle to save a big gain.
And Thanavagan looking over at the coaching staff for the play call here on 1st and 10 from the 28 as we near 5 to play in the half. Armentrout in the swing pass, turns it upfield, the 40, and delivers a little punishment going out of bounds as he ran into Brody Elder, the strong safety.
Yep, a nice job there. Jace Rockwood blocking on the perimeter allowing for another 10, maybe even 15 yards on that play.
This offense really has moved freely tonight. About anything that they want to run, they've had some success. Armentrout, another carry. And he will have another first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just a simple off-tackle play sweep there. Again, nice job reach blocking by the tackles for Bloom-Carroll. Able to seal that perimeter. Armentrout uses his speed. The rest is history. Another first down for the Bulldogs.
Just seems like he glides when he gets the ball when he's cutting upfield.
That's a good observation, Josh. Very smooth runner. Smooth runner. And again, smooth runners with good vision are a tough out for the defense.
First and 10 from the 46. So we Marshall. And he will drag a couple defenders, still moving the pile, and now finally shoved back. Forward progress to the ace 35.
And talk about the contrast in running there. Then you give it up the middle to Marshall, who is as powerful of a runner as you'll see. Again, with his size, he hits that hole. It's going to take at least 2 or 3 defenders to bring him down.
Bulldogs will spread it out now. It's going to be Marshall who slipped, maybe got caught up by the turf monster.
And
Still picked up 2.
Yeah, he knows he could have had more, which is why he was upset after that one. But again, the wrinkle in that wildcat formation, that's the thing. When you have a running team like this, you know, you find different ways to run the ball, different variations. So that way it's, you know, you keep the defense on its toes without having to be necessarily a balanced offense. I still have on the mind that they'll be better off in the long term as they're able to throw it. But wildcat plays like this. Oh.
Bishop drops it, picks it up, and we'll get back to the line of scrimmage. As Halffolder, one of the first ones in there on the stop. There's a flag down there. No, that was a beanbag. I tell you, I don't like the orange beanbags. They mess me up. I don't know why they don't go to the blue beanbags like the NFL officials have.
And we're 2 years in, and I still get confused when that orange beanbag comes flying across. Oh, there's a flag on the play. Well, maybe not. It's just a beanbag for the fumble.
Yeah, the white beanbags they went away from. They went to these orange ones, and I'm not liking it.
Nope. You're not alone.
And this one's out to Jones. He'll pick up a first down. Stan Thanavong has had a quiet night, but some nice completions along the way.
Yeah, and that's a great call there by the Bulldogs. They're very observant. The defensive backs giving quite a bit of room for those receivers. Tell the receiver to run to 5 yards and turn around and throw him the football and see what he can do with it.
Jet Jones running off the field. There you see him, 5'9", 175 pounds. Junior wide receiver for Amanda-Clearcreek, or excuse me, for Bloom-Carroll. Here's Marshall cutting it back. And another cut back to the sideline, to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Andrew Marshall. 5th rushing touchdown of the night for Bloom-Carroll.
Great run by Marshall, able to stay in bounds and just pick his way through the defense as we see here on the replay. Nice job. Just eluding defenders despite running through traffic on that one. Again, just so many good runners, so many good runners.
McKee, who's had a busy right leg tonight, adds his 5th extra point, and it's 35-0. Bloom-Carroll.
Great job by Jet Jones to pull that snap off the turf and get it down for the extra point to be converted.
Well, we saw in the NFL games last week and how important it is, the snap and hold.
Absolutely it is. And it's one of those things where you never really appreciate it until something goes wrong. So
yes.
the long snapper specifically is a forgotten position that no one really thinks about, but it's one of those details in the game where if you know, once you have a bad snap, it throws everything off. The kicker's kicking the laces if you can't get the hold down. It just, so important to have people that, not 99, 100% of the time can make that play.
Yeah, such precision, and at all levels, even at the high school level, you work on it, week after week to get the timing down, to get everything right. So, when one little thing happens in a game, it can throw it all off. And
Right.
You see the scoring drive as well.
Yeah, this one at least a little longer there for the Bulldogs. 10 plays, 99 yards, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. But again, just in this, more of their normal type drives, a more methodical march down the field. Marshall doing a lot of the damage on ground, and then finishing it off with a 22-yard touchdown run.
Key kicking it off again. This time it will be Stye. Shuffling to the sideline, spin move. He'll get away down the sidelines and forced out of bounds by Dylan Armentrout, who's been active on special teams tonight.
Yes, he has. He's the fold player on the kickoff coverage, and that's a position near and dear to my heart. That's what I played at Ohio University, where you're the last line of defense. If you don't make that tackle, it's up to the kicker. And maybe not in high school, but in other levels, that's something that you don't want to see happen. But again, lost in that is a great run here by Tommy Stye. Nice job there with the spin move. Breaks the tackle there. And Armentrout saves a much bigger gain by pushing him out of bounds.
If you're a Amanda fan, you got to be happy that you're going to get 3 more years of Tommy Stye.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dossman will give it to Stye, and the aforementioned Stye will pick up a couple yards.
And again, it's one of those things you never want to see your players go down injured. But when you see great players like Stump and Mills go down for the aces, it gives players like Tommy Stye an opportunity to show what he's got in the backfield. So he's lining up in the backfield. I'm sure he'll play a much bigger role in this offense, at least for the remainder of this evening. And let's see what he can do with it.
Ticking down near 90 seconds to play in the half. And it's going to be Dossman. And maybe a busted play there, as he will get maybe a generous yard at best.
Yeah, we just talked about long snapping, said the snap on the shotgun just as important there. That one was high. Threw off the timing of the whole play. Looked like it might have been a sweep or a draw play to Stye, but Dossman just having to tuck it and run, get what he could. Able to turn it into at least a positive yard and save the negative play.
Down box just now flipped from second to third down, as it brings up 3rd and 6 as we're inside a minute to play. Blitz coming. Dossman in trouble, and he will go down. As coming in to make the play for Bloom-Carroll, number 38. And that was Jade Stevenson. 6 feet, 195 pounds, junior.
Nice job by Jade there to be able to get off of his block there by the offensive tackle. Again, nice job by Dossman stepping up in the pocket, doing the right thing, but Stevenson just made the better play on that one, able to wrestle him down for the sack.
And the Aces will not have to run another play, and they will choose not to and take it to halftime. I'll remind you, coming up, the halftime band shows brought to you by Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Crematorium Monuments. Family owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. Frankie Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. And by Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Professional or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do too. The difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loans specializes in banking that revolves around you. Remember FDIC, equal housing lender. We're at halftime here at Bloom-Carroll with the hometown Bulldogs leading Amanda-Clearcreek 35-0. We'll take a break and be back with the halftime band show in a moment. You're watching the Buffalo Wild Wings Game of the Week on IVP Sports.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Buckeye Toyota, Bay Food Market, Fairfield County Adam H., the Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Fairfield DD, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Personal Touch Party Rentals, North Body Shop, Fairfield Medical Center, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
Bay Food Market is Fairfield County's source for high-quality, locally sourced meats. The meat case is always full of quality fresh beef, pork, gourmet burgers, and gourmet brats for you and your family to enjoy. Bay Food Market cures and smokes their own hams, bacon, and sausage. Visit Bay Food Market at the corner of Maple and Walnut Streets in Lancaster and discover the Bay Food Market difference. Open daily 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed Thursday and Sunday. Bay Food Market, proudly serving Fairfield County families for more than 90 years.
Greetings from Fairfield DD. We are excited to share the joys of the fall season with you. As we move into cooler weather, we hope to see you at Football Friday nights and the County Fair. As you enjoy the season of changing colors, we also want to remind you of the change we hope to see. We pursue a vibrant community where everyone leads a fulfilling life and everyone makes meaningful contributions. Don't forget to stop by our social purpose enterprise, Art and Clay on Main and Square 7 Coffee House, to paint a new piece for your table this season or enjoy a handcrafted fall beverage.
Hi, this is Anna Tobin from Meals on Wheels of Fairfield County. At Meals on Wheels, we provide in-home services to reduce isolation and hunger, empowering caregivers in their role of caring for a family member or friend. This month, we are really excited to be chosen once again as the recipient of Buckeye Toyota Buckeye Cares program. That means Buckeye Toyota will make a donation to Meals on Wheels with every vehicle sold this month. With the high cost of fuel, this support is very much appreciated. Thank you, Buckeye Toyota.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
Hi, my name's Josh Lazier with the Lancaster Fire Department, here to talk to you about Narcan. Narcan is the light in the darkness of the opioid epidemic. It's a medication designed to rapidly reverse opioid overdoses. It can very quickly restore normal respirations to a person whose breathing has slowed or stopped as a result of overdosing with heroin or prescription opioid pain medications. It can be carried by police, EMTs, firefighters, even family members. While Narcan stops the effects of an overdose, it does not stop addiction and is not a cure. If there are opioids in your home, Narcan should be there too. Narcan is considered to be a very safe drug and can save lives. And in Ohio, it's available without a prescription. Your life matters, and we're here to help because you matter.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. respect for tradition, regard for change.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
How much can you afford to spend on a home? That's a good question. I'm Desi DeJohn, Assistant Vice President and Mortgage Loan Officer at the Savings Bank in Lancaster. It's important to know how much you can afford before you contact a real estate agent. Factors such as income, credit score, debt, and down payment can help determine how much a bank can lend you to buy a home. Getting pre-qualified is the best way to find out how much you can afford to spend on a home. You can apply to pre-qualify online anytime at thesavingsbankohio.bank.
Swing into the Carriage Company and check out our sweet deals.
If you're looking for the best selection of clean, quality used vehicles, look no further than the Carriage Company. You'll feel secure with your purchase, knowing all vehicles undergo an extensive safety and service check prior to the sale. And all vehicles can be viewed online at carriagecompany.com. The Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster.
So wait!
proudly present the pride of the Bulldog Country, your 2022 Bloom-Carroll Marching Bulldogs! Field Commanders County Green with Stephen Stang. Tonight, the Marching Bulldogs present their entire competition show featuring soloists County Green. Here is Journey into the Unknown. The Marching Bulldogs will begin their competitive season next weekend at the 31st Annual Bloom-Carroll Classic on September 24th. The Bulldogs would like to take a moment to thank their sponsors, R&C Cranberg, Red One Realty and the Gilmore Group, Promotions by Design, and our Diamond Level sponsor, Cheers Chalet. The Bulldogs would also like to thank Bloom-Carroll Music Boosters, the voice of the Marching Bulldogs, Van Stoke, and a special thank you to Aaron Seipel, John Herman, and Bill and Angela Sands for their work on the new trailer. The Marching Bulldogs are under the direction of Mr. Ross Alvo, assisted by Hannah Mullins, George Gibbons, Mackenzie Wilkerson, and Ben Pelosi.
Welcome back to Carl Fell Stadium at Bloom-Carroll, where the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs lead Amanda-Clearcreek 35-0 as we get ready to start the second half. Josh Messerly alongside Ariane Royster, and boy, scoreboard I think pretty much says it all.
Yeah, dominant performance in the first half by Bloom-Carroll, able to overcome some of those mental mistakes that they had, a couple penalties, and the ground attack continues to just be tremendously impressive, led by Dylan Armour-Trout, 9 carries for 152 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Not to be outdone, Ethan Thanthanavong, 93 yards through the air, mostly on screen passes, so they're pretty much doing whatever they want to do tonight. Amanda-Clearcreek, again, just a matter of trying to get some momentum, establish some drives, move the ball a little bit at the end of the first half. Let's see if they can continue to build on that.
And we'll get a chance to check the halftime stats here in a moment as well. And certainly with the score being the way it is, you can only imagine how those look.
Yeah, I'm sure very lopsided. Actually, maybe the one area might not be as lopsided as we think is time of possession, because many of those Bloom-Carroll touchdown drives came on a 1 minute or 1 minute and 30-second time of possession. But again, just a very impressive performance offensively and defensively, really. I know Amanda-Clearcreek doesn't have a whole lot of firepower on the offensive side of the football, but still a very nice job by the Bloom-Carroll defense.
Brody Elder will be doing the honors for Amanda-Clearcreek, as Bloom-Carroll will be receiving to start the second half. Check that. That's Brennan Rich out there teeing it up for Amanda-Clearcreek. Armour-Trout and Broden Bishop back deep for the Bulldogs. And a bouncer down the middle, and up back will fall on it for the Bulldogs. And that's how the second half will begin, with a running clock, we should mention, with the point differential.
Not sure if Rich planned it that way, but that was quite the impressive bounce. Had that been an onside kick, they would have been in good shape.
And you see a lot of onside kicks these days. The kicker's trying to get that, but they never get that second hop.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So 1st and 10 from the 31. Ethan Thanthanavong still out there. We probably imagine not out much longer in this one if it stays a similar margin. Out in the flat, he finds a receiver, and that's Michael Stevenson, who will rumble for a first down.
Yep, the big tight end ran a very nice speed out cut on that one. I love the call. I can get some passing momentum, rhythm going early for Thanthanavong. Probably won't be throwing a ton in the second half, but start out with it, get him in a rhythm, see if he can create some momentum in the passing game.
Gain of about 7 there on first down for the Bulldogs. As we see new players in the ball game. Cole Sherman, a senior running back, lining up next to Thanthanavong in the backfield. He will fake it, and out in the flat, Bishop catches, turns it upfield, and will pick up the first down.
Again, similar to the play we saw on the last play on the out cut, only this time out of the slot, Bishop was able to get open in the flat. Thanthanavong, nice throw on the run there, rolling to his right, able to have a nice gainer for a first down, and they'll go tempo here.
Yeah, they are going a lot more up tempo here to start the second half. Thanthanavong out in the flat, catch is made, and quickly getting upfield. Number 2, Rockwood, Jace Rockwood on the reception. He'll pick up 8 yards. I'm sure it's kind of a balance for Coach McKinney. don't want to certainly run up the score, but you also want to make sure you get your guys the work that they need to get in this week.
Exactly, yeah. And again, we talked about Thanthannavong, this being his first year as a starter, and understanding how important it will be to have him in a good rhythm by the time the playoffs come. This is the time to do that. So like you said, there's a balance of not wanting to look like you're trying to show someone up or run up the score. So it's good to be able to do some of this early in the second half.
Bishop catches it. He'll take it for a first down. Broden Bishop with a couple catches in this drive. Carruthers on the stop.
And again, I've been very impressed on this drive by Thanthannavong. We talked about his arm strength. He's throwing with a lot of accuracy on this particular drive here, and especially rhythm and timing. That ball is on time to those speed out cuts.
And there you see a good look at him as he gives it to Sherman, and Sherman will not get much. Back to the line of scrimmage, if that. They will actually say that Sherman did not get back to the line of scrimmage, lost a yard. We are ticking down to 8 minutes to play in the third quarter on this running clock with the score differential the way it is. Sherman again on the carry, and he'll take it down just shy of the 22-yard line. Now whistle, and we have an official timeout. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the Bloom-Carroll schedule coming up. They go to Liberty Union next week. That could be an interesting game.
Yeah, it could be. Liberty Union is a team. We saw them last week. They're showing some good promise, able to, with their running attack of Courts and Carroll there. Fairfield Union as well. That's a team, due to the way the style of play, they're going to want to play you in a phone booth. And that's one of those games you can look up and it's close in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So could have a couple tough games coming up. And then Logan Elm is a very, very strong team as well. So the Bulldogs are going to have to be in their A game going forward.
That's a game, I think, with Logan Elm where you really kind of circle that on the calendar, assuming things go the way that they could for Logan Elm as well. I think they have a tough one tonight with Circleville. And Fairfield Union, we understand, leading Hamilton Township 17-14 tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about it. This Bloom-Carroll football team, with all the talent they have, they can be as good as they want to be. They can, have a chance to go 9-1. As we see a nice pass
and
there.
Thanavong gets it out to his wide receiver. That's number 16, and that is London Dodds. London Dodds, a 6-foot freshman. He'll have the first down.
Yeah, but just to finish that thought, Josh, but it's also as much as where if they don't come to play, there could be a game where they stub their toe. So they're going to have to watch that in the schedule going forward. Here's Thanthannavong again, a nice rolling to his right again. He seems to be in a nice rhythm here. Nice catch there, and able to make a couple defenders miss and get up the field.
Here's Sherman, and he's going to take it in for a touchdown. 6-yard touchdown run for Cole Sherman. That's his third of the season.
And Cole Sherman, again, a very strong runner, a senior, not a big guy, goes about 5'6", 165 pounds is what he's listed at. But again, runs hard, runs good behind his tackle, behind the tackles, behind his pads, able to make guys miss. And just, again, another one of those horses that they can bring in, Bloom-Carroll that is, and have the trust and faith that they're going to be able to move the football like the starters.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. That was Tyler Rapp attempting the extra point. And it's now 42-0 in favor of Bloom-Carroll. And let's now take a look at the Amanda-Clearcreek upcoming schedule. And the Aces certainly have a lot of adversity to this point in the season. And in this league, it doesn't get any easier. So they'll go next week back home to take on Circleville, which is a big rivalry game as well.
Yeah, big rivalry game, but Circleville, a very strong team. Again, why it was so impressive that Bloom-Carroll was able to beat them the way that they did last week. But, Amanda-Clearcreek, of course, after tonight will most likely be 0-5. So, I think for Coach Dalton, it's going to be a matter of, can you win 3 out of your next 5 games? I know you want to take every game one at a time, make sure you try to beat the opponent in front of you. But their last 4 games, they were Hamilton Township, Tays Valley, Fairfield Union. Those are good football teams, but if Amanda-Clearcreek continues to improve, those could be games that they could be competitive in, see what they can do, again, maybe get a win or 2 going into the next season so your guys aren't as maybe deflated or frustrated as sometimes an 0-5 start can get you to be.
And they may want a little bit of payback to Fairfield Union at the end of the season, who surprised the Aces last year in week number 10. Bobble on the kick return. And that is Conrad down the sideline. Conrad has one man to beat, and he's finally taken down at the 46-yard line. Tell you, Talon Conrad has had himself a nice night on returns.
Yes, he has. That's been a real strength of the Aces this evening. They've had a couple really nice returns. Conrad doing most of the damage on those, and on that one, he just gets the sideline and just takes off. The bobble, as we see sometimes on kickoffs, actually probably helped him out,
right?
Because the coverage sometimes overruns the play because they're so worried about trying to recover the loose football that's on the ground. So that one worked to his advantage. Had one guy to beat. It was the kicker, Rapp, but he made a nice tackle on that one.
1st and 10 from the 46. Dossman going to put it in the air, swings it out to the edge, breaking a tackle and going out of bounds on the reception was number 32, Brody Elder. He'll have a first down for the Aces.
And that's a good-looking football play. I mean,
yes,
that's a play, it's a complicated play because you're putting the ball in the gut of the running back, pulling it back out, and then having to complete a screen to the receiver. So it requires a lot of patience, execution, and for the linemen to hold their blocks. Amanda did all 3 on that play, able to get a first down, and they're in business here on the right side of the 50.
You see that last drive for Bloom-Carroll, 11 plays, 69 yards, took 5:52. A lot of that helped by the running clock. A couple other scores from out of town. 3rd quarter, Beaver Eastern leads Berne Union 14-7.
Wow.
Halftime, Pickerington North 27, Reynoldsburg 14. Lancaster trailing Hilliard Darby. They were leading. Now they're trailing 23-21 at the half. Back and forth there. Tays Valley leading Liberty Union in the 3rd, 7-6.
Wow.
Low scoring game there in Baltimore tonight. Handoff for short gain. They finally blow it dead as it was a scrum breaking out. Might be enough for a first down. Told you earlier, Fairfield Union leading Hamilton Township 17-13. That's now a halftime score. Gahanna leading Pickerington Central 13-7 in the 3rd. Fisher Catholic trailing at the half at Worthington Christian 56-21. And no score reported for Fairfield Christian's game against Grove City Christian. Of course, we'll have the Irish and the Knights next week from Fulton Field.
And in the preseason, a lot was made of both the Pickering schools, North and Central, playing a lot of, out of non-local games, if you will, across, state lines, I think in one of the cases. And it's something that they hadn't done before. But you wonder, with some of the struggles that they've had earlier in the season, if that may have taken its toll, maybe just being a little off rhythm or playing teams, at a different caliber,
Sure.
if that's had any effect on them long term.
Yeah, you wonder, too, certainly injuries. I mean, you're seeing
too.
some serious talent when you go across state lines. I know Pickerington Central has done it more so than North, even playing some teams out of the state of Michigan and Indiana. Dossman down the middle. That one, a hot potato, went right through the hands of Logan Stevens, and a Bulldog almost had a chance to pick that one off. That was Stacy Diamond who had that one almost intercepted.
And that's, again, one of those unfortunate ones for the Aces. That should really just be a pitch and catch. I mean, you've got the inside receiver running an option route wide open because Bloom was dropping more into a softer zone. It's up to the quarterback there to put it on him and for the receiver there to make a tough catch. Neither was really executed in a good manner, and you saw the result.
2nd and 15 from the 39. Covell gets run out of bounds. Clock ticking down near 2 minutes to play in a rapid third quarter.
That running clock does make a difference, but I think that's a really good thing that they implemented, I guess, several years ago at this point now. But, there's no need to string these things out. We know the outcome. Bloom-Carroll, has shown what type of football team that they are. And, the longer you're out here, that could get guys hurt. And sometimes it's better to just speed up the game a little bit. And with this timeout, we'll take an opportunity to read or to allow a thanks to our second half scoreboard sponsor, which is Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. More information can be found at buckeyeLakeMarina.com. And we'll also take a chance to thank Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the crew for great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town. It's all at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center on North Memorial Drive in Lancaster.
A chance to have some Buffalo Wild Wings this week, and it was delicious.
I believe it. It always is.
It always is.
The sauce is still second to none, despite it's one food that I can never get sick of. Buffalo Wild Wings. For me, their medium sauce is where it's at.
Some on our crew are partial to the pretzel knots.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that I could see as well.
Yes. We'll talk about some more food here in a little bit. It passes over the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and that one, again, we talked about the lack of execution on the first play, but a nice job there by Drew Dossman. Quarterback able to put it on, the receiver curling over the middle that time for a first down. Nice catch made there in traffic. And don't look now, but Amanda has its best opportunity to get in the end zone for the evening.
To your point on Dossman, really looks fearless back there. And a team that has had struggles on offense, a lot of times quarterbacks get, a little extra nervous.
Yeah, and he has not been gun shy at all. We talked about it earlier. He continues to impress.
Affolter on the carry, and he will take this one inside the 20, so the Aces crack the red zone for the first time tonight.
Nice shifty run there by Affolter. Again, a little off-tackle play out of the three-back set. You get those ends and linebackers bunched in, and then you run it off tackle. Nice run there. Able to pick up some nice chunk yardage. Brings up a 2nd and 4.
We're inside a half minute to play in the third. Probably the last play of the quarter. Covell straight ahead, and he will move the sticks. And Covell picks up a first down. He's done a good job tonight filling in for the injured Landon Mills at running back. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter with the score Bloom-Carroll 42 and Amanda-Clearcreek nothing. Okay, let's take an opportunity now to acknowledge our fine IVP Sports crew tonight. With us on cameras up top, we've got Jim Spires and Jason Roush. We've got dual top cameras tonight. And down on the field, we've got Tom Russo doing a fine job. There's Jason right to our right.
Nice to have Jason back with us tonight.
Off last week, but back with us tonight. And again, Tom Russo down on the sideline, giving you that great shot. And in the truck tonight, a full house. We have got, of course, our director, producer, Bob Campetti, Shane Messina on graphics and replays. There you see Jim Spires there running camera. Also down the truck, Donnie Ziegfeld on scoreboard. And back with us, our statistician, Beth Campetti. I'm glad to have somebody that can do math because I can't do math. And by the way, we should also mention happy anniversary to Bob and Beth, number 16 on the 16th.
Absolutely. Happy anniversary. Could not be happier for Bob and Beth celebrating their 16th anniversary. As I think I might have teased when we did this a couple years ago. So impressed that Beth has been able to hang in there with Bob. I'm just kidding, Bob. I always like to give you a flag.
Control of your mic.
So before he cuts me off, I will just say again, happy anniversary to the lovely couple.
Your family, so you can get away with that when I cannot.
That's right. That's right. That's my uncle-in-law, so I got to give him grief whenever I can.
Aces knocking on the door here late in this one, trying to get on the scoreboard. It's been a couple weeks since they have gotten into the end zone. In fact, you have to go back to Unioto week 2. Last time they were able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and they continue to impress on this drive. They've been able to execute. Again, a little quick to the line here out of the 3-back set.
Covell stood up. Actually, it was not Covell on the carry.
I think it was.
No, that was Stye on the carry.
I saw it too. I just missed the one in front of it. Yeah.
For a second, it almost looked like it was a big pile up, like the ball might have come free, but it was just a scrum.
Yep. So again, this is here. They've converted. Now they've got a first down and goal, opportunity to get into the end zone. This is going to be, as you said, so important for them going forward. If they're able to get this ball in the end zone, they've had a nice drive here. If they're not able to get in, it can really kill their confidence. So let's see what they do here.
Full house here on first and goal. Here's a handoff to Covell, turning the corner, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Aces. Landon Covell with the score. His first rushing touchdown of the season.
Yep, nice blocking there. A nice job of bouncing it outside by Covell. The offensive line did a nice job getting to the second level, not allowing those linebackers to pursue, get to Covell as he was able to stretch it. And tell me those guys aren't excited. I mean, despite being down now 42-6, but everybody ran to the end zone to congratulate Covell on that touchdown.
It's just one of those situations you've gone, at least 8 quarters without getting in. Actually, even beyond that, 10 quarters at least. And that when a line drive on the extra point by Rich, no good. So we'll remain 42-6. 10:25 to go in this one. Let's look at the score.
Yep, and again, it's a nice handoff there, just a quick hitter off the edge. Nice job there blocking on the interior. Couldn't quite. And then Tommy Stye, again, stepping in there, getting a key block there. Allows Covell to get in the end zone. Nice execution, nice blocking. Also on the perimeter, number 7, that's Allfler. Nice job.
So clock stopping now, and 10:25 to go in this one. Certainly the confidence boost that has to give the offense for Amanda-Clearcreek is, they had a big opportunity last week against Liberty Union, just unable to punch it in. You just really think how different that game could have been had they gotten that early confidence of a score. And tonight, you knew they had to start fast and just unable to do it.
Yeah, and again, tonight it was some of those things that they were just, trying to run inside the tackles and with the interior line as strong as it was for Bloom-Carroll. And then on the edges, you've got Plants and Marshall, roaming from their linebacker spot. So that's a tough ask to move the ball. But they did have some opportunities, were able to cash in and make a couple first downs. And then, coming out of the second half here, the first drive there, able to take it straight down the field. 11 plays on the 54-yard drive, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. And then the 3-yard one by Covell. And an excellent job, again, blocking on that play for him to get into the end zone.
Rich has this one teed up. Another bouncer down the middle. And up back will wisely come up and fall on that one. As that was coming up to recover, it was Jake Utineru.
Nice job by Utineru on that one. Looked like he has practiced that and fully experienced, knew to get the ball and get down. Nice job.
Now the Bulldogs offense will come out on the field. We'll probably start to see the benches clear a little bit. There'll be a new quarterback in for Bloom-Carroll as well. Matthew Klein, a freshman, will be the quarterback now. And he will hand off. And on the carry is Stacy Diamond. And he will get a couple there on first down.
That was an amazing move in the backfield by Diamond, able to elude that rusher that was right in his face as soon as he got the football. Put his foot in the ground, did a nice spin move, and got upfield for about 3 yards. It could have very easily been a 3 or 4 yard loss.
You see a good look at Stacy Diamond. Looks like he was in the zone. He was focused.
Yeah, he was. He's ready to get that ball again.
And coming up here, we will name our players of the game for both teams. Let's talk about our Amanda-Clearcreek player of the game first, which is brought to you by Bay Food Market. A lot of options here, Marianne. Some good play on defense, some good play on special teams.
Yeah, a lot of pretty decent players, that did a nice job for the Aces. But I think the kicking game was really able to set them up for some nice drives. Let's see the
Ball's on the turf, and the Aces look like they've come up with it. And they have a fumbled exchange. And then the Aces will recover with 8:31 to go in this one.
But just, again, back to the player of the game, what they were able to do in the return game, able to set up the offense on some very nice field position shots. Taylon Conrad, as we watch the replay here really quick, just a error on the exchange there between quarterback and tailback. And you'll have that again, new players coming into the game. But Taylon Conrad, such a nice job in the return game. Really just hitting the wedge as fast as he could. Had a couple really, really nice returns. I think he's deserving of our player of the game this evening.
Ball on the ground again, and the Bulldogs have recovered. Wow.
Who wants it?
Yes. Well, and, when you have a lot of reserve players in, not a lot of maybe varsity experience, and sometimes the execution drops a little bit.
Well, especially some of those read option plays, timing is so important. And, were you giving it to me? Were you pulling it out? I'm not sure. Without a whole lot of reps, between the young guys, those things can happen. So, it's just a matter of knowing those are things that you need to shore up, because those are guys that you might have to depend on if one of your starters goes down. So now you know what to work on both sides for Amanda and for Bloom-Carroll.
And I'm sure nerves also plays a little bit of a factor
Absolutely.
as well. Here's a clean handoff, and Diamond's going to take it into Amanda-Clearcreek territory. So congratulations to Taylon Conrad, our Amanda-Clearcreek player of the game. We've got a flag come in. Bay Food Market has been servicing Fairfield County for more than 90 years. Located at the corner of Maple and Walnut Streets in Lancaster, Bay Food Market provides the community with the highest quality meats. Stop in and discover the Bay Food Market difference. We'll get the call here in a moment.
Defense, 15-yard penalty.
Personal foul, late hit after the play, looked like.
That was just a push much late after the play. Just some frustration coming out on the part of the Aces at this point. You want to make sure you get that cleaned up as well. Coach Dalton can't be happy about that.
And after this play, we'll talk about our Bloom-Carroll player of the game. A handoff, and nice job to spin as much as he could was Eden Schultz on the carry. So our Bloom-Carroll player of the game is brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in providing personalized insurance coverage that meets the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards today.
A lot of fantastic players for the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs as well. Obviously, such a dominant performance in the first half, but it was all spearheaded early on by Dylan Armitrout. Didn't do a whole lot of work tonight as far as number of carries. Only had 9 of them in the first half, but he certainly made them count. 3 early touchdowns.
That one goes through the hands of the quarterback, but able to fall on it was Matthew Klein.
But Armitrout, again, doing so much of his work early on. Just a very talented runner, smooth runner, incredible vision, speed when he gets in the open field. Also runs with some power. So many great backs on this team, but Dylan Armitrout certainly deserving.
On the offense, that penalty's declined. 3rd down.
Of our player of the game.
Yes, congrats to Dylan Armitrout. You said only 9 carries. He did some damage, though. 152 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. As I said earlier, it's got to help the old average on that one.
Yeah, well, at least 16 a game tonight per game. This one out in the flat and taking it near a first down on the receptions, Aiden Schultz. As Klein fired it out to him. Schultz nearly got to the sticks, but I think he's going to be a yard short, bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it was a nice job there by Matthew Klein. He was able to stand in there in the pocket, rolling a little bit to his right actually on that one. Delivers a strike, able to get Klein in space, Ugh, names. Able to get it to his receiver in space and run on that one.
Hand off to Schultz, and he is going to be stopped for a loss. And the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs as we're inside of 6 minutes to play. Good job by the Amanda-Clearcreek defense to get that football back for their offense. I told you last week we talked about a lot of great places we get to go to throughout the area, and the Pit, one of our favorites, and Carl Fell Stadium, another one of our favorites. I think the folks here at Carl Fell, though, really stepped up their game tonight in the concession stand. We were talking about that earlier. We did some damage over there tonight.
Yeah, they did. I came hungry tonight because I knew the concessions at this place were not to be.
There's a big hit in the backfield. Ball's loose, and the Aces come up with it. That was a big hit on the quarterback.
Yes, it was.
Owen Smith came in first to pop it free. Get another look at this one.
Nice job by Smith. Just perfect timing. Delivers the hit as Drew Dossman's getting rid of the football. The Ace is fortunate enough to fall on that football and not turn it over in their own territory.
Dossman's probably going to feel that one tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Covell with a nice run. Landon Covell's going to have a first down.
Great
some scores earlier. Fisher Catholic, we understand, trailing at the half. Against Worthington Christian, 56-21. Let's look at this run by Covell.
Yep, again, just a nice off-tackle run. Nice job blocking downfield. And then there's the spin move, the nice job. Covell able to get open to the sideline there. Nice gainer. But it looks like it's
coming back. Didn't hear the hold call there, but I believe that was a hold against the Aces. They'll bring it back. Be second down, and I had to move the down box, maybe 12, now third down. Everybody's messed up, including me. What's going on here?
That happens.
Dossman will hand off to Stye, working around the edge, bounces off a defender, and he will pick up a first down. And I think there's no laundry out there, so we'll stand.
Great run there by Stye on that one. Able to break 2, possibly even 3 tackles. Impressive job.
Well, you got to give credit to this Amanda-Clearcreek team. Even when things aren't going their way and they're down by a good margin, they're still playing hard.
Yeah, they do. They do. And Coach Dalton has talked about that. He loves the attitude of this team and the heart as Stye continues to run hard, run over defenders. Almost close to a first down on that one. But, and that makes all the difference, even when you're not having a good season. When guys still show up to practice every day, they want to get better, they know how important it is, it still matters to them. And you can see it in their play. Even if the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, you can see the effort that they're giving is still second to none.
Is that, you think, more a reflection of culture or youth? Because, these guys are young and still working to get better.
Well, I think it definitely has to be more of a culture thing.
Dossman picks it up, throws, and it's incomplete.
Nice effort there by Dossman to even get the playoff.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a culture thing again because I've seen and been on teams, unfortunately, where even though you're young, it's easier sometimes for young guys to just pack it in because they don't know any better. So it's so important to for the few upperclassmen that you have and the culture that's been instilled in that program to say, hey, this is not how we do things. It doesn't matter if we're 10-0 or we're 0-10. There's a certain way that things are done in this program. We're going to continue to get better, and if it doesn't reflect results this season, it will next season or the season after that.
Still a very proud program in Amanda-Clearcreek, as we all know.
As well it should be.
Yes. That one caught by number 11, that's Stevens. And Stevens going to have a first down. Logan Stevens will take it down inside the 25-yard line.
Excellent pass right there on the money by Dossman. Steven able to make a nice catch with his hands. We'll watch it on the replay. Again, you see the fake there. He's got his eye on Stevens the whole time. Gives him a nice catchable ball right in his hands.
And whistle and flags will stop this play.
On the defense, 12 men on the field, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And I didn't get a chance. We were talking about the food earlier,
yes,
Josh.
Back to the important thing.
The food. The hot dog that I got the second time around, because it was for seconds, I'd already had a hamburger. I ate that so fast, I burnt my mouth.
Oh, wow. They told me it was hot because I got one just before you did.
It was extremely hot, but I was so hungry and it was so good, I just woofed it down anyway. Burnt the whole entire roof of my mouth. I've been playing hurt really the whole night here, so you're welcome, all of our viewers tonight.
Pat you on the back, you're okay.
We're working through this burnt mouth here and talking through it.
Well, I'll give you a report. The French fries were fantastic as that one goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Beavers. And a whistle. And a timeout taken by Amanda-Clearcreek with 52 seconds to go. We also got a report from our own Donnie Ziegfeld in the truck that the cheeseburger he had is the best that he has had from the circuit that we make our way around.
I believe it. And we have some good food at some different spots. But
we do.
The cheeseburger that I had, I would have to agree. It was up there.
And we heard even the candy was better, which, it's not like they're making it. They're just selling, Sour Patch Kids and Snickers and all those things. But apparently it tasted even better,
just the aura of being here, just with everything else. It complemented the food that was grilled here. So.
Well, when you walk in this place, I mean, it's almost unfair. When you walk in the gate, you're right by the concession stand, and they got the grills out, and then you smell the deep fryers with the fries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unfair. So you're going to make your way to the concession stand.
I made the mistake of eating before I show up here. I knew better this year, so I came hungry. I came ready to eat.
That's a rookie mistake.
Absolutely. Heck, I've gained 10 pounds just having this conversation with
yes,
you.
Me too. 3rd down and 4 after the timeout. Covell on the carry. He gets it to the 10, spins, and will go out of bounds, or near the sideline, I should say. I understand Rick Rowland, the tennis coach, was the grill master tonight, so he's making everything taste extra good. As the Aces get it into the end zone, that'll taste extra good on the way home as they will get a score here in the second half, another score. And Landon Covell on the carry.
And that's nice to see there for the Aces. 2 second-half touchdowns there, able to establish some meaningful drives despite having a couple rough turnovers there with some bobbled exchanges. But, these are the things that it's very important to build on going forward for the rest of the season.
And coming on to attempt an extra point is Brennan Rich. This kick is up, and this one is good. So the score now with 32 seconds to go in the ball game. Bloom-Carroll 42 and Amanda-Clearcreek 13. And certainly some positive things to put on film here in the second half for Amanda-Clearcreek. Obviously, first half certainly didn't go their way, but second half they started to move the ball. Of course, a lot more reserves in the game, certainly both sides, but just that confidence. I'm sure just getting in the end zone does wonders, for morale.
Yeah, and just, again, that timing and execution that, whether you're running on air or you're playing against a team with a defense as strong as Bloom-Carroll, it's just important to have that timing, to have the confidence that, you can run these plays, at least get some positivity out of it, and know that you have the capability, to just complete those, balls over the middle or screen passes or speed option, make sure that those are executed well, whether you only gain 2 yards or you gain 20 yards or you gain 80 yards. It's important to know that those can be done.
And it's certainly a team that we knew the strength would be more with their offensive line. Skill players all new pretty much, and really trying to grow into those roles. Now we're halfway through the season. They're starting to to look more comfortable in those things. Just as we've touched on, it comes down to just making plays.
Yeah, and they will. I mean, I remember being a young guy myself and being out there as a freshman on Friday nights. It's a different feel the first time you're out there, especially when you're a young guy, and so many of the guys that you're going against have such a bigger size advantage on you, and then they also have the experience there. So being out there for the first time, it can be intimidating and very difficult to concentrate on what you're doing and really execute those plays. So the longer you're out there, the more comfortable you get.
Yeah, Shu likes to say when they turn the lights on, start popping the popcorn, it's a lot different story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we will welcome Shu back next week. He's taking the week off, going over the New Lex, I understand, involved with their Hall of Fame night and helping to get some folks inducted over there. So he was joining in those festivities this evening. So he'll be back with us next week as the Bulldogs will take a knee and put a bow on this one.
Great honor for Shu, chosen to be a presenter for some of the players that he's coached, and can't be happier for him. And he's touched so many lives in his career as a coach. Nice to see that some of that's being reciprocated back to him, and he's being recognized for it. And congratulations to those individuals inducted into the New Lex Hall of Fame as well.
Absolutely, and congratulations to the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs as the clock hits 000 and Bloom-Carroll defeats Amanda-Clearcreek 42-13. And certainly the running game tonight really put this game away early for Bloom-Carroll as they just kind of dominated up front.
Yeah, it really did. That offensive line of Bloom-Carroll, much not very ballyhooed as some of the running backs, but just as important, if not more so, because some of those armor trot runs that we talked about, he wasn't touched, or at least not touched until he was 10 or 15 yards down the field. Again, great vision for him to run off those blocks, but those blocks needing to be established up front. Great blocking as well by the wide receivers. And when you've got a 3- and 4-headed monster of strong runners, fast runners, runners with great power and great vision coming at you time after time after time, it's tough to stop.
Absolutely it is, and this is a team that we forget about how dominant they have been the last several years. They were doing that at the Division IV level.
Yeah.
Now the degree of difficulty later in the season is going to come when they're going to Division III. Certainly in the Mid-State League, you're going to see you run the gamut from Division II all the way to Division V. But certainly competition is going to step up a little bit too when you get towards the end of the season. You're starting to see bigger schools.
Sure, but I think Bloom-Carroll can really hold its own. As you look at some of the teams that are in their region even now, you look at a team like Granville, for instance, the current #1 team in their region. That's a team that I think Bloom-Carroll can match up well with. I mean, their defense is as strong as any team that they would play on the Division III or Division IV level. They've shown that over the years, and I think now that they're getting the additional confidence that they're having, continuing to have this dominance, the performance they put on against Circleville last week, I think they can beat anybody that comes up against them in this new division.
Next week, we will have a game from the Mid-State League Cardinal Division as we'll go to Fulton Field and see the Fisher Catholic Irish for the first time this season as they take on the Fairfield Christian Academy Knights. And it'll be an interesting matchup. Two teams that certainly have had their struggles this year. But you get into league play and anything can happen.
Yeah, and Fisher Catholic again. The last couple seasons, program started to go in the right direction, and maybe this season it looks like it's been a little bit more of a struggle. But they're continuing to grow on some of the things that they're doing. They have been able to put some points on the board despite some of the losses. And Fairfield Christian as well. A team that's growing, continuing to improve. You're just going to want to see a good competitive match by both teams. Hopefully they can execute, and we'll see what we get next week.
Yes, Mariano will be back on the sidelines, and Jared Stewart will be making his 2022 debut as Tim Shoemaker also be back in the booth, so they'll have that game for you next week from Fulton Field. Once again, the final score in this one, Bloom-Carroll defeats Amanda-Clearcreek 42-13. For Marion Royster and our entire IVP Sports crew, I'm Josh Messerly, thanking you for watching the Buffalo Wild Wings Game of the Week on IVP Sports, and good night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Buckeye Toyota, Bay Food Market, Fairfield County Adam H., the Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Fairfield DD, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Personal Touch Party Rentals, North Body Shop, Fairfield Medical Center, and Buckeye Lake Marina. This has been an IVP Sports production.